Well, howdy folks. Welcome to another Keeping It Real with Rick and Lisa. I'm so excited to be with you guys. I know a lot of people are watching this. We've been talking about marriage. We've been married 38 years, and some of the things we've learned that we want to help our church members here to have healthy marriages. So we decided, because we're doing a two-parter on learning how to argue. You may not like that, or learning to disagree, but there's going to be some disagreements in the best of marriages. So I'm going to share with you a story I have never shared off the pulpit. We've never shared it, but I am a very transparent guy. About 10 years ago, we got into a serious disagreement. Now, I have said that if you don't learn to kind of argue, kind of do it the right way, big things can become huge things, and little things can become big things. So about 10 years ago, we got into an argument that went on for a while. Yeah. And what's weird about it, we were talking about it last night, we couldn't even really remember what the argument was about. But what I have to confess is I got so upset, she was at work, that I packed my suitcase and decided that when she got home, I was going to tell her, listen, I'm going to go stay at my mom's for a few days or get a hotel. We need a break. And so I had everything packed up. I meant business. I was upset. She comes home from work and I got my stuff there. We're ready to go. I tell her and she laughs. She starts laughing. Why did you laugh at me?
I just found it comical. I didn't know it was that serious with you. I mean, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, but I thought, come on, we can work this out. We need to talk it out.
You know, all I can tell you is, I guess it was a God thing. She laughed at me. And for some reason, it was like a slap in the face. I looked at myself and I thought...
You look shocked.
Because you really said something like, really?
Yeah, you look shocked.
And you were laughing. Like and for somehow or another, I looked at it and I thought, really, Rick?
I thought it was ridiculous.
Well, it was. Oh, well. It was not a good day for me. I had to unpack all my stuff and put it back. It's like a little boy. Anyway. Can't even remember what we were arguing about.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
I just remember that.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. Hey, so this is part 2 about learning to argue, but real quick review. We have 4 points that we've kind of learned. So number 1 was stay on point. What would you say about that real quick?
Stay on point. Don't bring up anything from the past or throw in something into the argument that has nothing to do with what you're actually talking about.
Yeah, just stick to the point. Don't try to retaliate about something else. I know it's hard to do. Number 2, little wordy, was understanding your spouse's, how they process. You know, like when we argue, I apparently I want to pack my bags. No, but I want to fix things. I want it to be over with. And sometimes, not always, but Lisa says to me, hey, I don't want to talk right now. What's that mean to you?
Oh, well, I mean, let me say that throughout the years I've learned that, well, you came to me and said, don't ever do that again, because I let it go on. And you can't do that. So I listened to what he said, and I purposed that I would not do that again, that I would give it a few minutes, give me just a few minutes. I'm not going to let it drag on for days.
Well, you say a few minutes. I mean...
Well, I let it drag on for a few
listen,
days.
If you're a fixer and you want to get arguments over with quickly, you need to understand your spouse, male, the husband or wife, may need a little bit of time. You have to kind of compromise with that, you know. So, all right. So here's 2 new points that we've learned over the years. Now, some of this stuff is obvious, but it's real to us. Is number 3 is what, Lisa?
Learn to listen and understand.
Yeah, learn to listen. What would you say to that?
I think a lot of times when people argue, they just want to get their point across and they don't want to hear or try to understand what the other person is feeling or trying to convey. But you really need to purposefully listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, one of my daughters worded it, you just kind of said it, she says, they're listening, but not listening. They're waiting for their turn to say what it is they're mad about.
And they're just thinking about what they're going to say and not listening.
Yeah, you're just not listening. You're just wanting to get your point in.
Yeah.
But you this that time. Mm-hmm. And now we're joking around here now. I say, did you touch the thermostat? So it's kind of like.
I don't touch the thermostat.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
You know better. Yeah. Anyway, no, you need to think about that. If there's a disagreement, try to bring in your emotions and think, what is their point of view? Because sometimes we just misunderstand each other. And if we take the time to understand what they're conveying, you might go, oh, okay, I get it. But you get emotional. And
well, communication is one of the biggest problems in marriage. So
yeah.
If you want to be a good communicator, you need to listen.
Yeah, we're going to talk some about that. So number 3 is learning to listen, to truly try to understand your spouse's perspective. Number 4, and the last one we want to do on this, is reach a conclusion. This can't go on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible actually says in Ephesians 4:26 to not let the sun go down on your wrath. You need to reach a conclusion. So how do we do that, Lisa? What are some things we would say to people?
Well, I think you're not always going to agree. Like, I think one of mine and Rick's biggest disagreements was how to discipline our kids.
Yeah.
And so we had to learn to meet in the middle. And that was difficult because sometimes it wasn't in the middle.
We're going to get to that one too, raising kids. But what was it? You have to agree to disagree sometimes.
Yeah.
And you've got to listen. You cannot allow these things to go on for days on end. You've got to see that there's danger in that. You really don't. You don't want bitterness developing and just. Yeah, I mean, you can get bitter at your spouse because you feel like they're taking advantage or they're winning or whatever stupid stuff you're feeling. So sometimes, you're going to have to compromise. You are. You're just going to have to agree to disagree for the sake of what's right for your marriage. And because you just have to reach a completion with this. And marriage requires a lot of grace, folks, a lot of forgiveness, doesn't it? I mean, you got to give a lot. Lisa's not perfect, even though I may act like she is, but she's still got some stuff.
You are. You're perfect.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but we got to give some grace to each other, folks. Some other little side points: if you have kids, you need to try to avoid arguing in front of your kids. We've talked about some of that.
Especially disagreeing. You don't want to disagree with your kids.
If you're not on the same page and the kid
don't use that against you.
Yeah, we went through that with child discipline. Didn't work out so well.
No.
But you don't want to argue in front of your kids. It's very unsettling to children to see that. But I know things can get worked up, and so you have to try to grab hold of yourself and say, hey, let's just step aside, or whatever. There's just things you're going to learn in marriage. So. We don't claim to be experts here. We've been married 38 years. We've learned some things, and these are things we've learned. There's other aspects of this I know we may be missing. But we just want to encourage you with these 4 points to maybe think about when you encounter disagreements with the person you love and you're living with, how can we do this in a way that doesn't blow up into something that you don't want? Amen. Because the devil does want to get in there and wreck marriage.
And then sometimes you just have to yield.
Yeah, that's a lot of grace, forgiveness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that's our 2-parter on learning how to argue. And so next week, we are going to talk on something different. Usually rated as one of the top problems in marriage. What is that, Lisa?
Finances.
Money.
Money talks.
Some people want to hold on to it, and some people, I think, they just hate it. They can't. They get it. It's, I gotta go spend. So we're going to talk about money next week, and that's a good one. We'll provoke some thinking there and what you can do. All right, listen. we really, I said, we really do love people. We love the people in our church, and we really want you to have strong marriages because we know God does. So we will see you guys next Sunday. Bye.